All right, today's topic is rational exponents. So rational exponents basically talking about exponents that are not whole numbers in a way, and converting them back to forth-from radicals. So, for example, let's say we have x, and we have the square root of x, okay? The square root of x is the same thing, equals the same thing as saying x to the 1/2 power. 1/2 power, okay? So square root of x is equal x to the 1/2 power, okay? And conversely, x to the 1/2 power is equal to the same thing as x squared, okay? Okay, this is base stuff, okay? So square root of x, same thing as x to the 1/2 power, and conversely, x to the 1/2 power is the same as the square root of x. Now you can also say that the cube root of x, or x, the third root of x, right, equals x to the 1/3 power, right? So anytime you have something like this, where it's just a root, whatever root it is, a square root or a third root, right? When you put it into an exponent, it's whatever number is here, right, goes in the bottom of our fraction here, 1/3, right? Same thing, x to the 1/3 is the same as saying x to the third root, right? Cube root of x, okay? So they interchange back and forth, okay? So, and just to kind of show you again, if we had x to the 1/6 power, right, to this 1/6 power, that's the same thing as doing x, and then our root, and then whatever our bottom number is, 6, is going to go here, okay? So the 6th root of x, okay? So, what if we had this, all right? What if we had 7x, and that's all to the 1/2 power, okay? If you have that, because this whole thing is in parentheses, the 7 and the x, they both go to the 1/2 power, which means that this whole thing, the 7x, the whole thing is under a square root, okay? Now, what if it was like this? What if we had 3x to the 1/2 power, okay? Now, in this case, the 3x are not in parentheses, so your exponent only goes to the x. It does not go to the 3. It only goes to the x here, right? So when we do this, right, your 3 stays the way it is, but your 1/2 here, that's going to go to your x as a square, like that, okay? Because the 1/2 turned into a square, but remember the 3 is not in part of the parentheses, so it doesn't get involved, okay? All right, let's do some calculations with a calculator, okay? So this is kind of show you how to work the calculator when you're doing these problems, things like that, all right? So let's say I give you this. I give you 243. Let's try to find the 5th root, okay? So the 5th root of 243. So what number times itself 5 times is going to do 243, okay? That's what I want. So very simple. We use our calculator, okay? And we're going to use, see this the green button, the little green right here, it says x, and it has the root and y, okay? So that's what we want to use, is the green part here. So when you use this button, well, you want this part here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put our base number, 243, okay? And then we're going to hit our second button, and then we're going to have this button right here, and then our root, which is 5, and our answer equals 3. Okay? So, very simple, using a calculator on this, right? Now, they're going to give you a calculator on the test, so don't worry about that. All right? Okay, let's do 625, and let's make that to the 4th root, okay? So once again, 4th root of 625, right? So we're putting in our 625. We're hitting our second button. We're hitting our YX button here. And then we're going to hit 4 for our root, and we're going to get 5. Okay? All right. Now, what if we give you something like this, where we do 4,096, and that's to the 1/6 power. Okay, so remember, to the 1/6 power, we can convert that, right? Let's go ahead and convert it first to a radical. All right, remember that. So let's say be the same thing as equaling 4,096. And then remember our 6 here goes right here in front, so it's the sixth root of 496. So 496, and then second, this sixth root equals 4. Okay? And then last but not least for this subsection, let's do 343 to the 1/3 power. Okay, so remember, we're going to convert our 1/3 power to a root, a radical. Let's do 343, and because our bottom number is 3, it's going to go right here, 3. And then we can go ahead and do that. 343, second, 3, and that's going to give us 7. Okay? Alright, so that's kind of the basics, converting from fraction exponents to radicals and back and forth, okay? Now, here's an important rule, okay? When you have a number, let's say x, okay, and your fraction, or sorry, your exponent is a fraction as such. Let's just m over n, right? Let me just do just variables to show you where the numbers go, okay? So if you have this, x m over n, right, we can rewrite that as x, and then when we have our root, remember our bottom number, remember goes here, right, as we've done before, and then our top number is going to go 2 places, right? It can go here to the inside of the square, to the inside of the radical here with our number, okay, or we can do that m all the way to the outside of everything, okay? So, I know, letters, looks confusing. Let's process this, walk it through, okay? Let's do a problem. I'll show you how this all works, all right? So, give me a problem. Let's do 216 to the 4/3, okay? So, 4 over 3 is our exponent, okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to rewrite it as one of these two here, okay? So I'll write it in both ways so you can see, okay? So let's do 216 in our radical. Now, our bottom number goes outside. So our bottom number is 3. We're going to put that here, okay? Our top number is going to go as our exponent here. So we can do that, or we can write it as 216 with our root and then a 3 here. That's always going to be the same. Let me rewrite this. Okay. Our bottom number will always go here with the root, and then we're going to do what we did up here, put in parentheses, and then put our m, our top number, on the outside here. Okay, and I'll show you how to solve this both ways. Okay, so we can do this first. Okay, here. When you do this first, you're going to do the inside, 216 to the 4th power. So if we do this, let's do 216, and then our y-x button, no green button, okay, just y-x, 4 is going to give us a really big number, right? I'm not going to write that down. I'm going to leave it the way it is, okay? So I'm not going to touch anything. I did 216 to the 4th power. Now I'm going to do to the 3rd root, okay? So now I hit my second button, okay? I hit my y-x button again, and then 3, and that's going to give me 1296. Okay? Now, I'm going to do it this way and show you we're going to get the same answer. Okay? But this time, I'm going to do my 3rd root first and then to the 4th power. So here, I'm going to do 216. On the second button, I'm going to hit y to the x equals, oh, my bad, sorry. Restart. 216, second, y to the x, and then 3 equals 6. Cool. Okay. And then to the 4th power. So now we're going to hit our y-x button, no green, it's y-x to the 4th power, and that gives me 1296. Okay. So however way you want to do it, this way or this way, it doesn't matter. Okay. You're going to get the same answer. Okay. So whichever you feel more comfortable doing, go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's do another example. I'll leave this up to kind of see it, okay? So let's do 32 to the 2 over 5, okay? Sorry, 2 over 5, okay? So now, let's rewrite this. So I'm going to follow this order first. I'm going to do the same thing I did here, okay? So for this order first, okay, with our so we're going to do 32. Now our bottom number is 5, so that's going to go here. And our top number is 2, that's going to go here, okay? Or, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do 32 root with our 5, but then I'm going to put this whole thing in parentheses squared, okay? Now, let's go ahead and solve. I'm going to do this way first, where we do 32, let's do 32 squared. Now square, it's already here for me, so I'm going to hit this button to give me that. And then I got to do the fifth. So I have the second power, or second button, our yx, and then 5, because that's our number here. And I'm going to get 4. 4. 4, right. Now, same thing with this one here, so I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to do it to the fifth root first. So I'm going to do 32. 32. Second here to the fifth root, and that equals 2. And then 2 squared, we should say, we all know is 4. Right. Okay. So either way you want to do it, let's do one more example, okay? Let's do 729 to the 5, 6, okay? Now, once again, I'm going to rewrite it. 729, bottom number is 6, that goes here. Top number is 5, that goes here. Or 729, bottom number 6, parentheses, top number 5. Alright? So same thing, we're going to solve this way first. 729, no green, to the fifth power gives me a very large number. Okay? Then we got to do our sixth root, so we're going to hit second, this button, 6, and we get 243. And then same thing here, we'll do 729 to our sixth root first, so second, 6 equals 3, and then 3, no green button, to the fifth power gives me 243. Okay? So, however you want to do it, it's up to you. Whichever way you find easier is up to you. You're going to get the same answer either way.